Hey, folks, FanStream Sports. This is Baseball Island. I am Tito, Jeff Thitoff. The guy to my left, Chad Rink. He is at Chad Ocho Rinko. I am at That Happens on Twitter. Go to FanStreamSports.com. Check out our website. Lots of upgrades there. Lots of new content being added all the time. Great new shows. Chad, as we record this, it is on a Friday. We've got a Thursday night NFL game already in the books. The Chargers and the Vikings played last night. I'm curious your thoughts on that game and how bad did you get screwed?
I'll talk about it in the betting show later on today. Another very fine parlay ruined by Justin Jefferson not finding the end zone. Although I can't get mad at him because Carson Wentz is horrible. He's hurt, and that offensive line was bad. Chargers look good. Waddle looked good. Yeah. Herbert looked great. And then if you picked up Gadsden, you've got to be happy. I wasn't sure that he would fit in this because they've got three really good quality wide receivers.
Yeah.
He's looked great with the receivers. I think the big thing with that, if you have them, I think you have to play them. I think they're all more flex plays.
Mm-hmm.
This week, maybe you had to play them because of all the buys we can talk about too. But I think it's just going to be kind of like a roulette, because what I saw, I played against in our league, McConkey. So he had 6 for 88 and a tutty. Luckily, I have Addison, so he got the touchdown to kind of combat that. But Quinston Johnston, no catches.
Nothing.
I think he had 1, maybe 2 targets.
I don't know if he got targeted at all. I'm not sure he got targeted at all. Yeah.
It was a weird game. Like Herbert only threw 25 times.
Right.
He looked great. Badal had 23 carries. That game was just a weird game. They just had control, and they really did not throw the ball in the fourth quarter much at all.
Aaron Jones comes back, 5 carries, 15 yards. Jordan Mason, 4 for 3. That part was really disappointing to me to see Jordan Mason put up that kind of game.
I did too, because I heard he was coming back. Jones was coming back, and I thought they'll probably work him in a little bit. But I think the game script, number 1, just went wonky. 2, they had, was it Darasol was out on their offensive line, and I think they had another guy out. So that offensive line was just horrible. They could not get anything going. So if you're a Jordan Mason owner, hopefully you have other options, because I don't know going forward. I think it's going to be more of a split. Jones is obviously the receiving back.
Sure.
And I think I don't know what they're going to look like. I think they're going to be down a lot, and I think it's going to be J.J. McCarthy time. But, yeah, Mason was very disappointing last night.
6 teams off this week. The Lions, the Raiders, the Rams, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, and Jacksonville all off this week. Let's roll through some games, though. We'll go out Sunday's games. Obviously, the early window, you've got Miami taking on Atlanta in Atlanta. I don't trust anybody on Miami. Waddle's the only guy I really trust for Miami, right? I mean, Waller's now is on an IR.
Yeah.
And so if you jumped on him and he had a couple good games for you, that's fine, but he's going to be out now for a while. But I don't trust anybody on Miami except maybe Waddle.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to play Achane just because for the draft capital you had, he's really their only running back that's getting any kind of real work.
Mm-hmm.
Falcons defense is pretty good. I think it's going to be a weird game. I think the Falcons can just kind of do whatever they want. Bijan could single-handedly win your league this week.
Yeah.
But I think you got to play HA because he has that game-breaking ability where he takes a screen pass, goes 70 yards for a touchdown.
Miami's run defense is terrible. Bijan should have a good game. Algier should be good as well, and you may have to start him based on the bye weeks we have and the injuries and whatnot. So, Algier is also an option there. Penix, I guess all the quarterbacks off. Maybe you've got to play Penix. I wouldn't love to play him, but if I had to, but it's not the worst option in the world, though. Also, if you have Penix as an opportunity, just because your quarterback is off this week. Kyle Pitts, I'm off that again, right? I mean,
yeah, he just hasn't done much, and I think there's been a lot of sneaky, quality, good tight ends that have come out. You got Gadsden.
Right.
I think Fannin going forward is going to be good with Njoku out.
We love Ferguson in the preseason.
Ferguson. The big thing is, though, you do have Laporta. Bowers has been out, so you had to replace him, and McBride out as well this week. So you may have to play something like Pitts. I don't mind it, but he's just going to be kind of mid on this. So I do like Algier. If you have Algier as a flex play, because if this game gets sideways, Algier could get the entire run in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And if they're just going to run the ball, and I think you and I could probably get 50 yards each.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'd still take the under, but if you want to, I mean, exactly. Yeah, we're so good at saying we have no chance of doing it. Jets are in Cincinnati at 1:00, and we don't know. I don't think they've announced the starting quarterback yet. Have they? They announced for the Jets? I haven't seen it yet, but it's all signs are pointing to it not being Justin Fields.
Yeah, I saw Aaron Glenn was. I don't want to tip my hand. I'm like, okay, they're both bad.
Yeah,
like the Bengals aren't going to be nervous which one. It's just different. But I saw Tyrod Taylor's got a foot injury.
Okay.
So
you may be forced.
I think Fields plays because I don't think Tyrod Taylor's going to be healthy enough. I think he missed practice yesterday.
Okay.
So I don't mind either. The only problem with Taylor is without Wilson there, like who's he going to throw to besides Mason Taylor?
Yeah, right. There's nothing there.
No, and Hall and the Bengals defense is bad, but I think if Fields plays, he could be a sneaky option if you have a guy on bye, just because the rushing upside,
right,
and the Bengals defense is so bad. But the Bengals defense could be a sneaky stream this week.
I've streamed in a couple leagues. Yeah. I did stream the Bengals. They're home against this Jets team. The Bengals, without knowing who the quarterback was for the Jets, and like you said, it doesn't really matter. There's no Garrett Wilson.
Right.
I think that the Bengals are a sneaky play this week for a stream if you need to grab that. And on the Bengals side of the ball now, where obviously you're gonna play your Higgins, you're gonna play Chase, you're gonna play the other Chase Brown. Yeah. You're gonna play Chase Brown. Finally showed up last week.
Yes.
Finally. So you're gonna play those three guys. Are you going to play Flacco?
If you have to, I think yes. But if you have, I think there's a lot of other guys I think I'd rather play than Flacco. I think I'd rather play Andy Dalton this week over Flacco because I think the Bengals could get up in this game. They could get a defensive touchdown. Flacco, if Flacco threw for like 218 and 2, that's probably what he's going to do. I don't think he's throwing another 300, 400 against this Jet. I think, and he could though, because Chase could take it to the house. But I think Dalton against a bad Bills D at home, I think I'd rather play Dalton if you had to. I mean, I hope you don't have that decision.
Sure, right.
You're deciding between Dalton and Flacco, but he's not a bad play because, like I said, it just depends. Like if Sauce Gardner could neutralize Jamar Chase. So I do like Higgins a lot. This could be like a Noah Fant game or something. So I wouldn't start Flacco unless you had to. Just depends who you have.
The lowest over under this week is in the Browns Patriots game. That's at 40.5. New England's favored by 7.5. That's more for your betting show, I guess. But the over under 40.5 though tells us that they don't expect a lot of points scored in this game. I've streamed New England's defense in a couple leagues. I've done that. Is there outside of Judkins? Do you trust Fannin? I guess maybe not only you consider tight end, right? But Judkins, you're starting. I'm not sure about Fannin, right?
Yeah, I think you could start Fannin, especially if you're in a PPR, because I think he could get anywhere from he could get 7 receptions, even if it goes like 45 yards.
Sure,
getting the 7 receptions. I think Judkins is a play. I don't think. I don't think he's not matchup proof, but he's shown he can. Take one to the house. The Patriots defense is not elite.
No.
So I think the Browns are going to try to run the ball more. I just don't like this game if you don't have to play anybody because the Browns defense is pretty solid as well.
Sure.
But I think Drake May is a start. But the receivers, you just don't know. With these Patriots receivers are kind of like the Chargers, but worse.
Yeah. With Diggs, you got Kayshawn, Butte,
and
Hunter Henry's your tight end.
Douglas.
Yep, Douglas, Demario Douglas, yeah.
I think it's just going to be how it plays out, who the Browns have. So I don't mind Douglas this week or Diggs. Because I think Butte got in some sort of like trouble with betting or something too. But I don't know. It's just I just don't like this game.
7 weeks into the season, how shocked are you that Drake May has more rushing yards than Travion Henderson? Because I am shocked.
I am shocked. I'm really surprised that Henderson has not emerged.
Right.
Especially the fumbling issue. So I don't know there's got to be something. And I don't know if it's pass block because he was a really good pass blocker.
He's a good pass blocker. He is, yeah.
So I don't know if it's just one of those coaching things with Vrabel where he's got the veterans he trusts more. Maybe I don't know because he's so good in the passing game too. So I don't know. Yeah, I am so. If you would have told me Drake May had more rushing yards than Travion Henderson halfway through the season, I would have been like, I'll take that. I'll take the the opposite of that all the time.
Giants are in Philly to take on the Eagles this week. The Eagles trying to revenge a loss from earlier, the one they had. And I'm curious. So with the Giants, I'm not comfortable starting Jackson Dart every week, like that. So I'm not jumping on that. I'll take Scadaboo. I think Scadaboo's a good one to start there. But other than that, is anybody you love on the Giants?
No. Like their passing game isn't great. Like Theo Johnson, if you need a tight end,
yeah,
he's getting some targets, but they don't really have like that explosive guy. Like he's missed on Hyde a couple times. Wando Robinson is just more of a underneath PPR.
He's a PPR guy. Is what he's a PPR guy. Yes.
And I think they're going to have to I don't think this game's going to go like it did on was it Sunday night or whatever when they played before where the Giants just rolled. I think it's going to be a struggle for Scadaboo. I think that Eagles defense is going to, they're at home. I think that, like I said, I think they're going to be ready to play avenge the loss. And then you got the Eagles where you don't know if it's going to be like last week where Hurts is like, I'm just going to throw the ball a ton. And Barkley still has not had that game yet.
No, look, you and I, though, in the preseason, we talked about that with Barkley. We were concerned the 500 touches, damn near 500 touches he had last year, regular season and postseason, receptions and rushing attempts, damn near 500. And we knew, we expected him to have a drop this year, a significant drop, and he certainly had that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's weird because he hasn't, like, early on, he had 18, 22, 18, 19. He had 6 against Denver. And then he had 12 against the Giants. That Giants game kind of got out of hand. And then he had 18 against the Vikings. But he has had over 60 yards like twice.
Week 1, he had 60. Week 2, he had 88. And since then, 46, 43, 30, 58, 44.
Yeah, and he's only had 3 touchdowns. He hasn't scored the last 3 weeks.
Right. He's got 3 touchdowns rushing, 1 receiving. He had the 1 receiving touchdown against Denver back in that 21-17 loss. But yeah, it's been a huge disappointment with Saquon Barkley this year. And I mean, you're going to start him. Don't get me wrong, right. But he has not lived up to what people thought he might be he's not lived up to his draft status as far as fantasy football goes. And I feel like that it's going to be. I think the Eagles are going to pass the ball a lot again. I feel like they're going to do that. I think they can see that that's their most successful way. And if they're going to score a rushing touchdown, it'll probably be Jalen Hurts.
Probably, and I think maybe they're not limiting Barkley, but they know, hey, we're going to make the playoffs.
Yep.
We need him for the playoff run. Let's not abuse him early on with that. So it's so weird, like in fantasy too, because last year, Jonathan Taylor was drafted ahead of Barkley almost in every draft. And this year it was flip-flopped. And then
see what happens. Yeah. Buffalo is at Carolina. You talked about that a little bit earlier. But for Buffalo, though, look, Josh Allen, James Cook, yes and yes. Is there a receiver you love in Buffalo?
No, but if you need a tight end to stream, Dawson Knox could be sneaky because I think Kincaid is out.
Okay.
So I think this could be a sneaky higher scoring game. So I think Shakir I prefer over Coleman, but I don't like either.
I don't either.
No, and like I said, if you're missing guys, like you've got the Rams, you've got the Lions, you've got Harrison Jr., you've got Jackson Smith and Jigba, you got Brian Thomas Jr. out. So I think if you have Coleman, Shakir, you may have to start him like a flex depending on what you have. So I don't mind it because like the Panthers defense is bad.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know if any of his receivers are going to do well, but I don't mind Dawson Knox if you need a tight end stream.
Carolina now, they're coming off a 13-6 win over the Jets. And rushing wise, I mean, you've got Chuba back now. Last week, Rico had 17 carries, Rico Suave Waddle, and Chuba had 14 carries. I think that Rico is going to get the majority of the work the rest of the way. It might be close, but I think Rico is going to be the guy.
I think so. And if you're the Panthers, why not give this guy? He's shown he's explosive. Hubbard's just a fine running back, but he's not as explosive as Dowdle. And what Dowdle has been doing, like I would probably cut Hubbard's carries in half from what he had last week. If you give him 7, that'd be good. Let Dowdle go. And then like they'll probably rely more on the run this week too, I think, with Dalton at the helm. But I think this offense might actually move a little bit better in the passing game with Dalton. Chuba Hubbard, just a guy. I think Rico Dowdle is going to be the main running back there. I think they have to go with, but they could go to a hot hand as well. So the other thing, with the last thing I want to finish with this game is when Dalton came in, 5 of his 7 targets were to Xavier Legette.
Okay, that's worth noting. That's worth noting. Yes, Andy Dalton doing the quarterbacking there for Carolina this week, going a very mediocre to poor Buffalo defense to this point. Let's move on now. Not my Bears, your Chicago Bears are in Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Lamar Jackson trending to play. They have not said anything official, I don't think, yet, but he's been limited to practice this week. But God, do they need him back?
They do, and I think this game could be really good fantasy-wise if Lamar's back. So I think it's going to help Derrick Henry. It's going to help Zay Flowers, and it's just going to be a better game to watch.
Sure.
Honestly. But the Bears are interesting this week because you've got DeAndre Swift was limited in practice. Mm-hmm. Roshan did not practice with a back injury. DJ Moore was limited with mm-hmm. his hip, and Cole Kmet did not practice because of a back. So Monangai is an interesting play here if they limit Swift or he doesn't play.
Right.
The people that, if you've been holding on to Colston Loveland,
now's the time.
Could be the week. And I tell you, if DJ Moore's limited, I love Adunze this week, first of all. I love Adunze. I love Henry this week, just fantasy-wise, for daily fantasy, whatever. But Luther Burton could be interesting if DJ Moore does not play.
I agree with that one, yes. And then the Monangai thing, I think a lot of people went and grabbed him. They think he'll start getting more of a lion's share of the carries. I should say lion's share. More carries than he's getting, more touches to this point, though. And yeah, Loveland could be a very good play this week as well. Yes, if Cole Kmet doesn't play, you could see the breakout game for Colston Loveland. The 49ers are in Houston. The 49ers are getting a half point, by the way, betting-wise, just so you know on that one. Getting a half point in Houston, though. But San Francisco, there's still no Brock Purdy.
Right.
And I don't know the receivers. I can't even keep track of who's playing anymore for that team.
No, I think Pearsall is probably still going to miss. I think Jennings is, because I think Jennings was close to coming back last week. Mm-hmm. He does not have a Q tag. Pearsall still has a Q tag. Ayuk obviously still out. Kittle's back. I think they will try to get him more involved in the passing game this week. I think last week was probably just more of a blocking. I think they just schemed it up. Hey, we're just going to run the ball.
Right.
So I think you'll see if you have Kittle.
The 0 last week jumps out.
It does, but they didn't even. I tell you what, man, like coach of the year, I think Kyle Shanahan, with the injuries he's had, the way they've played. Mm-hmm. So that's good. So yeah, I think if Jennings comes back, I think that's going to maybe limit Kendrick Bourne a little bit. But right. I know Mac Jones loves throwing to Kendrick Bourne. So I like the Niners getting a point against this bad Houston team.
Yeah, Houston's defense playing well, but they can't block. They can't block anybody. No. So on
and
the
Nico Collins concussion.
That's what I was going to say. Nico Collins thing with that. I don't know which receivers I even like for Houston.
No, because Kirk's still coming back from his injury. He's more like relegated to the slot.
Right.
So it's going to end up being, I think, one of the rookies, either Higgins or who's the other guy that
Jalen.
I'll pull it up here in a minute. Jalen Noel.
Yeah, Noel. That's what it is. Yep.
Like, I don't think Hutchinson's much of anything. No. And then you got Dalton Schultz got a Q tag. So this game is just, I think, ugly when it comes to fantasy wise, especially on the Houston side. Obviously, McCaffrey is going to get a ton of work. Mm-hmm. So like, I think you could probably play Jennings, but I think this is going to be a low scoring game.
Tampa Bay is in New Orleans, and Tampa Bay another week, another receiver goes down. Mike Evans now is on IR. He might not play again this year. I'm not even sure on that one yet. But you still have Ibuka's going to play, it looks like. So Mayfield throws to anybody. Doesn't matter. Mayfield's going to throw whoever the receivers are. They're going to find somebody. But is there anybody else you'd like on Tampa Bay as far as receivers go? I mean, Sterling Shepard might be sneaky.
He could be. I tell you, I was watching that Bucs game. Tez Johnson looked he looks like a legit threat. He's a little dude, but he looks like a legit threat. The Saints defense is not good. Ibuka is going to get his work. Otten was a huge part of the game plan last week. Mm-hmm. So I like Ibuka, Otten, and I like Tez Johnson. I do like Kamara this week with because I don't think they're going to go to Neal at all.
And Miller's out for the year now,
right? And I think they're going to Kamara. It could be if you're looking. Here's another thing: if you're looking for the Taysom Hill breakout game.
Yeah.
This could be it. So if you have Taysom Hill, it could be one of those things. If you don't have another better tight end, I think there's going to be that Taysom Hill 60 yards, 2 touchdowns, and maybe throw a pass.
That's what we're talking. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that one for sure. Yeah, the Kenny Miller thing is unfortunate. I thought he was going to start getting more and more involved, and now look, Kamara says I'm going to get traded, but I got to believe you want to go play for a winner. You know what I mean? Like, I have to believe he'd want to.
Understand. Like, why would you not want to go? Like, I understand if you don't want to leave New Orleans, your family's there. You got half the season left. Yeah. Why not? If a team like, which I don't think the Chiefs will, but if you got a contender, that wants to bring you in, like, why not go play and maybe win a Super Bowl? Yeah,
a team like Denver, the Chargers might make some sense. Something like that. Hell, Pittsburgh might have some interest as well in something like that. I don't know. On the Tampa Bay, speaking of the running game, Tampa Bay, Rachaad White still a good play this week, I would think, against New Orleans.
Oh yeah, I think Rachaad White is the guy. Like, Tucker has not seen much work at all. Rachaad White is so good in the passing game. So I honestly believe, I think they have. Is it a week 10 bye?
Who's that? Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, week 11. Maybe it's week 12. Now that I think about it, but I think they're going to hold Irving out until after their bye, because it's like I think it might be week 12. I think
they are off. They've already had they're off week 9.
Okay,
Tampa Bay's off week 9. Yep, next week.
Oh, it's off next week. So I think it's going to be 10 at the earliest, obviously, because they're off this week. But I think it's probably going to be closer to week 11, week 12.
Dallas at Denver could be a fun game. Denver, at least for the last quarter of Denver football, they scored a lot of points. Bo Nix threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for 2 touchdowns. Had 174 yards, I think, passing in the fourth quarter alone in that comeback win over the Giants. Dallas comes in now, full complement of weapons there for Dak. And Javonte Williams has looked pretty good steal for some people.
He's been huge. I mean, because you did not have to use any draft capital. And here's the thing: this is for next year, but those type of guys, like, there was nobody really there to challenge him. Mm-hmm. We knew that offense should be good.
Yep.
Those are they're not sexy, but it's like, why not take a chance on a guy like that?
Yeah.
Because if it pans out, it's huge. If it doesn't, like, what did you waste a 6th round, 7th round pick for him? Like, so I like, even though Denver's defense is good, they've got Surtain, which will probably, cover Lamb. Lamb's still good. I think he's still you got to play Lamb.
Yeah.
I think Dallas can score. The Giants just dropped 27 on them. So they've been good, but they haven't been like.
It was 32 shutdown on them, right? Because the final score 33-32. 33-32. Yeah, with 2 missed extra points.
32. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
That guy's gone now, right?
He is gone.
Yes.
But they have, I think Young Hoku. So yeah, I like Dallas. I like Sutton. I like Dobbins. Harvey's getting more involved. So I like everybody in this game. Yeah, Bo Nix has been very consistent this year, but he found something last week against the Giants in the fourth quarter. You're playing all your Dallas skill players. You're playing Jake Ferguson, obviously, has been a real find for tight ends. If you did not use a high draft pick on a tight end and waited and got Jake Ferguson, you're very happy about that. Tennessee at Indianapolis. Tennessee can't score, can they? No. Okay. They're not gonna play nobody. There's no Tennessee we like. I would not play anybody on Tennessee. I don't think I'm trying to think there's no running back I would play. There's no Pollard, but Spears is back. No. I think they're not going to run the ball much. I think Indy's going to be up 31-3 at some point. And so, I mean, obviously everybody on Indy is in play because they'll get up early. You know, Warren and Taylor have just been phenomenal. Yep. Warren's only got 3 touchdowns, but I thought he would have had more than that. Me too. Just looking at it. But yeah, Pittman's good. So Indy, all the Indies, and then the Colts defense, which I think they're probably been picked up by now. They've been good all year. Yep. But yeah, I am not having any of the Titans at all. How depressing would it be if you were a Tennessee Titan and you and your teammates decided to get a fantasy football league together and no one drafts a single freaking Titan? Nobody would. I can't think, maybe Calvin Ridley would draft himself, but nobody else would draft a Titan. I don't think that would be interesting. Is they may just, that's the rule. We're not. But think about if you're Cam Ward or you're and you're sitting there you're drafting a team and you're getting so pissed off because no one's taking you. You're like, it's I'll take Andy Dalton just in case. I don't think even in a 16-team league anyone's taking the Titans. Hey, look, Cam Ward's lucky to have a job in a 32-team league right now. Green Bay's at Pittsburgh on Sunday night. Aaron Rodgers revenge game, or is this? I mean, look, Pittsburgh's defense last time out got shredded by a guy named Joe Flacco somehow. And I like Pittsburgh's defense, but I like both sides of the offense on this one. I love this game. I think because Packers had lately have not been as dominant defensively as they were early on.
Mhm.
I think Pittsburgh can move the ball. I think Green Bay can. This would be a good Jordan Love game, I think.
Yeah.
If you have him, if you have a tough decision between him and someone maybe like Caleb Williams, or you've got like, I don't know, like a Penix or something, but I think
Right.
I like Jordan Love this game. I think Christian Watson is back.
Yeah, I think so too. He's on the pup list right now, but he's going to be back.
I think
yes.
he's going to be back.
Yep.
I like Jacobs. So I think this is one of those. It's Sunday night. I love primetime games. So I think this is going to be a good game overall fantasy-wise.
And on the Pittsburgh side of the ball, I mean, Fryermuth's done nothing. He fine until last week when no one's going to play him. He finally had a good game last week, right? But you're going to play DK Metcalf, but I don't trust any other receiver. Maybe take a shot with Smith, Jonnu Smith, if you need to. And Jalen Warren's still a good play, I think. Gainwell not so much anymore, but I think Jalen Warren's still a solid play there. And then the Monday night game, Washington is at Kansas City. Jade Daniels appears to be out for this week.
He is.
So Marcus Mariota takes the reins there. I don't know about McLaurin. I think he's trending towards playing. But is there anybody that's a must start for you on the Washington side of the ball?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either still.
Ertz maybe if you need a tight end, because I think he could get 5 receptions.
Yeah.
But Chiefs defense is good.
Yeah, they are.
Chiefs are explosive offense. Like I think the Chiefs just roll in this game.
Yeah.
So even Mariota, I don't like him at all.
Right.
In this game. And it could be sneaky. Some of the Chiefs running backs could be a little sneaky this week because if they get, they like to throw the ball even when they're up. But I think Hunt, maybe Brashad Smith could be if you're looking, you need a flex player, you just happen to need a running back because you have a couple guys out. Because if they get up early, you can see Brashad Smith just having the entire fourth quarter, and he can get out there and move. So I like all the Chiefs except for Thornton. I think Thornton's going to be the odd man out with Rashid Rice back. But I would be hesitant to play any Commanders.
As far as Mahomes goes, he might be the best fantasy football quarterback going forward the rest of the season. With all those weapons there, it's a different Chiefs offense, a different Mahomes we saw earlier in the year.
It is, and he's kind of getting back to where he was a few years ago. Plus, I think he's still their leading rusher,
which is amazing
on the year. Yeah, so he's got that. Well, you've got those guys if they're playing, man coverage.
Yeah,
they get out. He can get out and get you 15 yards and stuff. So yeah, Mahomes, he is treading. I think probably is the MVP favorite right now.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm, by the way, in my leagues that I'm trying to get him in some leagues. I'm looking around. I think I might be a week late.
Yeah, I think the ship has sailed.
Yes.
I think I think you needed to get him a couple weeks before Rice got back.
I think so. So, all right, that's it for Fanceful Island. I'm Tito Jeff Thitoff. He is Chad Rink at Chad Ocho Rinko. At That Happens. We are on FanStream Sports. Go to fanstreamsports.com. Check out all of our programming. Chad's got some betting advice coming up here on a couple of shows here, so make sure you check that out as well. Chad, do we play each other in any league this weekend? We don't, do we?
We do not know.
So good luck.
We made a trade, though.
We did make a trade,
so
yes.
That's going to help you out because you're playing a guy.
Yes.
Quarterback dude, and now he's got a quarterback. Good luck to you, too.
Thank you.
Although you are 6-1.
I am 6-1, yes.
So you are
best record in the league. Suck on that, Jason Rothwell. And folks, we'll talk to you next week.